Cuckoo Kachuga, screwed. Bro, if you know what that's from, I mess with you tough. But if you don't know what that's from X-Men Origins Wolverine. That is a guilty pleasure movie. I don't know why I'm starting this. Actually, I know why I'm starting this episode like this. I was just thinking about that line delivery by Hugh Jackman at work just all day. Bro, it was just so funny because she's over here explaining this like culturally significant story to him, and then he just like cuckoo kachu got screwed. Like, why is that your response, bro? But I guess it's kind of in line for Logan, low key. But oh, hold on. And I actually like the this is just turned into an X-Men Origins Wolverine tangent. I actually like their relationship in that movie. Like, that's I feel like one of the more convincing relationships on like live action relationships on screen for Logan. But yeah, Wolverine. But anyways, welcome to What Did I Miss with Dennis Styles. On this show, I'll be covering all the stuff not on my main YouTube channel at DS2 Smooth, from movies and gaming reviews to movie and gaming news to anime, comic books, and anything else I feel like yapping about, as you heard with X-Men Origins Wolverine. Episodes drop weekly. There'll be time codes below to jump around to whatever part of the podcast you want to, any specific piece of news, to the main topic, which is I'll get into. But let's just get into the news summary for the week and talk. Oh wow, I didn't even write this before I started. Rookie mistake, bro. This is episode 23. It's my first time forgetting writing it. Okay. I'm gonna do this off the cuff. Off the cuff. All right. So this week, actually, I'll just look at the news and do it. Why am I making this hard? We have a potential. I think this might be pretty hard confirmed. A potential Nova project in the works at Marvel Studios. That's exciting. I'm excited to get into that. And the X-Men 97 creator. We don't have a lot of news this week. I wanted to keep it kind of shorter. I'm not even on no specific time crunch, kind of, but not really. But there wasn't really a bunch of news this week, and I really trimmed out like all the fat. Like I don't feel like talking about this. Anyways, the X-Men 97 creator was fired just 2 weeks before the series premiere, so that's like why did that happen? Let's see. Oh, reportedly, rumoredly, Marvel Studios is trying to take less risk, focusing on more guaranteed hits like movies like Captain Marvel 3 or Ant-Man 4 won't happen. So yeah, we're getting into that, and then there's some stuff that comes with that as well. Some other potential projects not happening. Sorry. Ooh, some Nicolas Cage is actually in talks to star as Spider-Man Noir, so that's really interesting. Oh my gosh, we got some delays, a specific delay to get into, which is hit the heart, not gonna lie. Ooh, and then some DCU talk, which you guys, if you've been listening, I appreciate if you have been listening so far, but you know I love some DCU talk. Just as this universe develops and whatnot, hopefully it could get, hit the ground running and continue to sprint through the marathon. That was that was like an inspiring saying for no reason that I did. Anyways, yeah, so some more DCU developments. And on the gaming side of things, we got some Battlefront 2 is some hot cheeks, so we'll get into it. And then there's some, honestly, I'll save this when we get to it. I don't even know how to I don't know how to summarize that. But anyways, the main topic for this week though is Love Lies Bleeding review. Movie A24 film, starring Kristen Stewart and some other really good actors. Sorry, I'm blanking on their names, but I really enjoyed it, so I can't wait to get into that. Honestly, I haven't went to the movies a lot this year. It's March, third month of the year. Only movies I went to go see were Dune 2 and this, and these were definitely some banger. Dune 2 was definitely banger. And this is I really enjoyed this too. Not as much as Dune 2, but I'm just saying it's up there. It's not like I been watching fucking Madam Web and shit. But yes, Sirski. Let's just get into it, bro. Let's just get into it. Oh, what did I miss last week? Okay, so I was talking about Babyface E, his deluxe tape, and I was like, I gotta listen to it one more time through to pick out what specific songs that were popping to me, that I enjoyed, and I did go back and do that. And bro, these songs some really good additions to the tape. If you don't know who Babyface E is, go check him out. He's nice. He's nice. He's nice. But some of my favorites he added though was County Time, Full Body K, and it's us feet Lil Tyler. So those were definitely some slappers. Go check, if you don't check the tape out or the artist, go check out those songs. Definitely some slappers. And then the Oscars were last week too. And yeah, I mean, I'm not like I don't, the Oscars are cool. For the most part, I just really only tune in when it's like something that I enjoyed or is nominated, So in this case, well, Godzilla minus one won best. Hold on. I think special effects. Let me make sure on that. Hold on, I gotta move my mic. One thing that I've been trying to do, and I noticed, hold on, I gotta move it again, is not moving my mic when it's very loud, and I've been noticing that, and I've been trying to curve that. Okay, yeah, so best visual effects, Godzilla minus one. So yeah, that's great. Really love that movie, and the budget was very, very, very low. Gotta move my mic again. Sorry. I just gotta stop moving around. I think I'm just too fidgety. I gotta just stay in one spot. But yeah, the visual effects in Godzilla minus one were fucking great for the budget. The budget was only like, I don't even think the budget's really still confirmed. It was like 10 to 15 mil, I think, which is astronomically low. So that was very impressive. And the what's it called? The working conditions weren't like, it wasn't a crunched environment or any toxic environment like that. So that's really good to hear as well, considering the horror stories we hear with on the excuse me, on the American side of things. And that's not to say like that's actually one thing that would be interesting to compare, because I was gonna say that the Japanese artists and stuff don't get paid as much as like the CGI artists over here, is what I was gonna say. But then there's been stories, the CGI artists in America don't, and CGI artists, I don't think that's the right terminology, but you know what I mean. I don't think they get paid that like a crazy amount here anyway. So I'm wondering what's that comparison like. Is it still on the Japanese side of things? Is it still like not astronomically, but pretty low compared to over here? But I'm just saying, because their salaries in general, like compared to, like, I'm not sure about their workforce and stuff, but their entertainment industry, like their movie stars aren't getting paid like our top movie stars type beat, So yeah, so that was really cool. They definitely deserve that. They I don't know what else they were nominated for, but at least they walked away with something. And then another win that was of note to me was Robert Downey Jr. winning Best Supporting Actor for Oppenheimer. That was well deserved. Love that for RDJ. Great. Love that, and especially if his story and his journey throughout until from then till now. It's very cool. He got that for himself. Last thing with the Oscars, it was actually, before I get to that, circling back to Godzilla. So I didn't even notice this, because honestly I didn't even try to look into this, because anyways, let me get to it. So Godzilla minus one apparently isn't available on digital or anywhere to watch. Like when it got pulled from theaters, that was pretty much it. Finito. Like it was gone type beat. And so I saw something like, if you weren't a Academy Award like a voter or whatever, then good luck on watching Godzilla minus one. And then I was like looking at a little bit more into it, and not like super deep, so I could be like, don't 100% quote me on this, but it's possibly from a dispute from is it Legendary, who's ever making the like MonsterVerse, like Godzilla X Kong movies. It was like a dispute between them and like the Toho people, like, because Godzilla minus one apparently did, again, don't quote me on this, is like very loose readings. Like Godzilla minus one did like apparently way better than everyone expected, and it was kind of pulling attention away from, monsterverse stuff, and so there could be something going on there. But regardless of the case, that's so stupid that it's not available to watch really anywhere right now. And honestly, so with Dune, I saw it twice, and Dune was like, and this is I'll get it. Yeah, yap session. So Dune, I saw it twice, but then I like stopped after that. I was like, I gotta stop watching Dune because I don't want to run this into the ground. This is like a piece of like art, bro. Obviously, it's a piece of art, but it's like this is special. Like I don't want to get tired of this movie. And like as of Spider-Verse, so when Spider-Verse came out, bro, I watched that movie like 5 times in theaters and like 2 times after the fact, like on digital. And so that movie is a bit, I still love it to death for sure, but that movie's a bit run down to me, but and so Godzilla minus one, I wanted to go see it again in theaters, but it was like a Dune situation. I didn't want to play it into the ground, and so then when it was out of theaters, I wasn't like rushing to go find it on digital, so I didn't even realize that it wasn't anywhere. So that really sucks. And that, again, I mean, it could be a little different because it is a Japanese film, but like this just goes to physical media. Like if this was, oh damn, after a theatrical run, I don't know how, yeah, like I said, I don't know how that would work with a foreign film, but DVD, boom, you solve your problem. Like you don't gotta wait for digital or whatever the case. But yeah, that just sucks. Oh, and then the last thing with the Oscars though, before I move on is I was blanking on this name. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jesus Christ, he plays Frank on fucking. Why am I forgetting blanking his name? He plays Frank on Always Sunny. Fudge. I was about to say Frank Riddles, bro. What is his real name? Danny DeVito, bro. I feel so stupid for that. My brain was just brain farting on that. But Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger, they were making announcement speech at the Oscars, and they we're talking about Batman because they Arnold played Mr. Freeze, and then Danny DeVito played the Penguin. I don't think they're in the same movie. I don't think, or they even fought the same Batman. But anyways, Michael Keaton, who played Batman, was in the crowd. You're like, oh, there he is, da da da. And then Michael Keaton, they're just like egging him on, jokingly, and he was just like in character as Batman, and he was just like making this mean mug face and like told him, like gestured him like, come on, let's fight. It was just a really funny moment, and it was like you could see Michael Keaton trying not to break like the little character he was playing in that moment, and it was just a really fun moment, and it spawned quite a few memes, and a couple of them were pretty funny to me. But yeah, that was the Oscars highlights for me, I guess. But let's just get into the news. Man. So reportedly, this comes from a YouTube video, like an interview podcast. Hold on, make sure my computer was music. Jeez, I caught that at the perfect time. Yeah, so Marvel exec confirms Nova, Ironheart, and X-Men 97 plans. This is an 8-minute video. Honestly, should have watched this. I thought it was longer. Brandon Davis. Well, hold on. No. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, this is from Phase Zero. So Brandon Davis, he's the interviewer, and Brad Winderbaum, producer of X-Men 97. So I've been hearing his name more. I think he's like a executive with over. I think I have the article up actually. Hold on, let me see. Like of Marvel streaming. Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to pad. Let me just shut up and just cut this part. Yeah, Winderbaum. Yeah, so Brad Winderbaum, the head of streaming and television and animation at Marvel Studios. Okay, yeah. I will be getting into him in a little bit. But yeah, so I guess he confirmed this. I gotta watch this video. I should have watched it. I honestly thought it was longer. I didn't even look at the time. Because I want to hear what he has to say about Ironheart and X-Men 97. But anyways, he confirms that a Nova project is in the works, which is really cool. I don't know a ton about Nova, like Richard Rider, but it's like the Nova core. I guess they're like, I feel like, I don't know if this is the right comparison, and I don't think anyone's listening to this to correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to like say they're like the Green Lantern in a way, the Lantern Corps, like they're just space cops. I just really like Nova's design. So he's always been like an interesting character from that standpoint to me. And then and apparently like it's not just like a one specific, oh, this person's Nova, and so the helmet could be passed down, or there's multiple helmets or something, or they got all destroyed and there's one left, something of the matter. But apparently it got to Sam Alexander. I guess his dad was a Nova Corps guy, soldier, cop guy, and he gave it to. I've been reading. When this was announced, I've been reading that some Nova stuff, and specifically Sam Alexander. I'm gonna go back and read the Richard Rider stuff, but his stuff goes back from like 19, like he's been around for a minute, and Sam Alexander is a bit newer. I got first introduced to Sam Alexander in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, and a lot of people rag on that show. I mean, it's definitely not the greatest, but it's definitely fun to me. I liked it growing up, and I think it's still enjoyable now to some degree. I know like a couple years ago, like I used to just like cut that show on at night and fall asleep to it. But he was really fun in Nova. Sam Alexander was really fun in Ultimate Spider-Man, so I've always been a fan of him from that. And then he joined the Champions, which is a team of like some younger heroes with notably Kamala Khan, Miles Morales, and Vision's daughter. So that was like always interesting seeing him in that. Not that I like just read specifically any of their runs, but seeing panels on Twitter here and there, and just so he's always been super interesting to me. So I've been reading. So eventually I'll hit Champions though, because I'm reading Nova like right now. His 2013 run by Jeff Loeb. It's pretty good so far. So if you want to check that out, definitely. I'm reading it on Marvel Unlimited. Yeah, but you could always read comics online anywhere. Not to say anything specifically, but yeah. Marvel Unlimited is just it just has everything right there. Like, 'cause I don't have to do no extra shit. It just has everything right there. That's why I like that app. But back to Nova. I was like, I kind of like lost the train of thought. What's it called? Yeah. So yeah, the Nova, definitely go check out. So what Nova are they gonna do though? I feel like now. So Ryan Gosling was rumored to be cast as a character, and a lot of people are saying, oh, with this Nova news coming out, a lot of people are like instantly saying Nova, Richard Rider, which I really gotta tap in with Richard Rider, because I get kind of Sam's, obviously, you're gonna finish the stories and shit, but I kind of get Sam's deal, for the most part, and like how he is as a character and acts. Not completely, but you after a couple issues, you understand where the framework is going and whatnot. But Richard Rider is kind of, I don't know, like is how he is at all. But Ryan Gosling, if he is Nova, and if that is the case, if he even is a part of the MCU now, Ryan Gosling, I feel like he's a fucking fire actor. I think he has a lot of range, so I don't. It'd be cool. And then but I feel like they were more in line, because I don't think it would be unusual for be two Novas, right? I'm not sure. The way the lore is right now, I think there's only one helmet, but adaptation, whatnot. So I don't think it would be unusual to have both of them, Sam Alexander and Richard Rider. You could have like Richard Rider be kind of, not to say that Sam won't be, but like, primarily in space type shit, deep space, dealing with shit like that. Does he have ties to Earth? I'm not sure. But yeah. And then, Nova, Sam Alexander could be. I really hope they form the Champions. Do some shit with the Champions, or even if. So I've been saying I'll get into it when I get into the Teen Titans news. But I've been saying I want the Champions over the Young Avengers. But if they kind of like merge them and kind of like take some members from the Champions and put them on the Young Avengers, and like vice versa, or whatever the case, I think I'll be fine with that. It's just I'll get into it. I just don't really mess with any of the Young Avengers members like that. I feel like the Champions are a lot. A lot cooler, but I'll talk more about it in Teen Titans. But on to the next piece of news. Wait, is that all I have to say about Nova? Because by the time and especially where the timeline is in the MCU, it would make more sense, I feel like, to introduce Sam Alexander, right? Yeah, I gotta get more into the lore and whatnot. But I'm really enjoying the Nova comics so far. I should have left that for comics, but it's fine. Oh yeah, I'll talk more about the Nova comics when I get to my weekly watch list. But yeah, on to the next piece of news. X-Men 97 creator has been fired by Marvel. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Fired by Marvel 2 weeks before the series premiere and won't be promoting nor attending the premiere for the series. So this is kind of very unusual. This is so for this to happen and to this extent, this had to be like something pretty like big. And so the creator that was let go was Bo DeMayo. He wrote season 1 and season 2 and had like loose ideas for season 3. So he was not just like, someone in a lower position. He was a very heavy contributor to this revival of X-Men 97. And there's been some there's I've looked into it a little bit, and no one really knows what anything or like why this was the case. And then the Brad Winderbaum, the person I was talking about earlier, he released a statement, but he just goes on to say like, this person that was let go, it was like a mutual exit. And what's it called, he just uplifts them and stuff like that. He doesn't try to slander them but and say some slick shit. But this is just confusing because if it's like a mutual exit and but this extent, like he's not going to be promoting it, he's not going to go to the premiere or anything like that. And usually when like if there is a mutual exit and like a falling out to this like on like this, like they'll still, I want to say, show up to like the premiere and whatnot if it is like a mutual split. And so yeah, this doesn't really make sense. And then why this is just a drastic like action, like he won't be promoting nor attending the premiere. So it's just like, whoa, like what's going on? And then I see some speculation, but I don't even want to like say that because it's like I don't even know for sure, and that just putting that out there is just like I don't have any more to say about that. It's just a really weird situation. But this was okay. This is a piece of news about actually these next couple pieces of news are rumors, and so take all these with a grain of salt. Okay, so reportedly there's gonna be some shakeup on Marvel, and they've been kind of doing this for a while, trying to really trim the fat out and really get back to, I wouldn't even say back, but like they're just honestly just spread too thin. But there could be some worrying news about that. So this is from Daniel Richmond. Again, these next couple pieces of news are rumors, so take them with a grain of salt. Marvel Studios is reportedly trying to take less risk in focusing on more guaranteed hits. Movies like Captain Marvel 3 or Ant-Man 4 won't happen. So this is dumb as fuck. So hold on. This is, I guess, a two-parter. So this is also from Daniel Richmond. Eternals 2 is reportedly on hold at Marvel Studios. Kevin Feige reportedly wants it to be made, but Bob Iger thinks it's a guaranteed flop. Okay, so they're getting the wrong ideas yet again. A Captain Marvel sequel should have been before the Marvels. The Marvels should have been Captain Marvel 3. We should have got a movie in between because we literally, I don't know, we didn't get to spend any time with what's her face? Jesus Christ. Carol Danvers and really flesh her out. The movie that she in, she's not even herself. Like she's literally trying to piece back her memories and together and whatnot. Which is fine. That's her first movie, and that was like the journey it took, and but we didn't get to see really who she was. And then her appearance after were so like lackluster and not really saying anything about the character. It was just like whatever. It wasn't like, for instance, you get something like Rocket with Thor in Infinity War when they're having that conversation about loss and whatever. And it's a chance to really build, like, it's a character moment between those two characters, and it really give some depth to them. We never really got anything with that like that with Carol Danvers and any of her guest appearances, and so it's just like you dropped the ball already with this character. You didn't develop it properly, and then you rush them into an ensemble film that could have worked because all those characters are great. They just need more fleshing out. Monica Rambeau needed more fleshing out. Captain Marvel needed more fleshing out. I feel like the most like solid fleshed out character in that was Miss Marvel, which is surprising to say, which is honestly like really weird to say. Like, why was she, obviously she got a show, but it's just like, why was that structured that way, So it's just like, again, learning the wrong ideas. And like Captain Marvel, I feel like Carol Danvers is a cool character. There's I feel like things you could explore with that character that we just haven't seen. And not that I know about her hell in the comics, but it's like, bro, I know, even from what I know, the surface level stuff that I know, it's like you barely scratch the surface with that. So it's just like, what are you doing there? And then Ant-Man 4, bro. This one grinds my gears because I like the first two Ant-Man movies for the most part. Second one less than the first, but it's just like you go to Ant-Man 3 and you hijack Ant-Man 3 with the trying to set up your new phase and this new villain, and you strip Ant-Man 3 from everything that made the Ant-Mans good in the first place. You strip his supporting cast away. There's no T.I., there's no David Duchovny. Like, come on, bro. Like, there's no Luis. Like, come on, bro. These are people who really not even, I'm not saying even made the movies, but they were pillars of the movie as well. And then you take away all of the cool Ant-Man gimmick stuff. Like, you don't have any cool shrinking perspective like type of bits or anything like that. So it's like you're stripping everything fun away from the character, and you're putting it into this bullshit film to further build up the new phase. And they did the same thing with Doctor Strange as well. It's just like the Doctor Strange 2 is not even a sequel to the first movie because they're building up the multiverse. Like, it's baffling, and they're learning the wrong things from their mistakes because they're Jesus. I'm in too deep. That was an in too deep rant. Yeah, but and then the Eternal 2 stuff. Like, Eternals, it definitely has its problem, and I don't feel like it comes together all the way like it should have, but give it a chance, bro. Give it another chance. Like, I feel like it feels very distinct from the other Marvel movies. Maybe not like so much the like structure or whatever, and I feel like that could be worked on, but I feel like the vibes and the way it's filmed or the way it looks, more specifically, I feel like it was really distinct from a lot of Marvel movies, and I really like that a lot because it's fun getting different tones and different things of that nature inside these these films that feel formulaic, which the formula is fine, and it when it's the formula, like, operating, I guess, baseline is fine, and then operating its highest is good, and then I guess that wasn't that's common sense, but it's just like the formula, bottom line, it's tolerable, so it's like these different, and I guess okay, this is a better point. The formula is tolerable, but being invested in these characters takes it to that next level. And so it's like, that's why I could easily say it's like, if you don't care about these characters, these movies are probably like dog shit to you. And not even saying that, like, that was kind of like a strong point as well. And that's not exactly what I mean. There's a little more nuance in that, because there's like, fuck, where was I going with that point? I'm just yapping now. Jesus. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're not invested in these characters, then these films could like be dog shit to you. But there are some like really well made ones. I feel like you could just pop on Winter Soldier and have a good time with that. You could just pop on Infinity War, have a good time with that. You could just pop on Homecoming and have a good time with that. Like, there's nuance to that. But I hope that point was somewhat coherent. But it's just, yeah, we're learning the wrong lesson. I mean, not necessarily. They are learning. They're learning the right lesson and the wrong lesson, because they are learning the right lessons in the sense that we need like less projects, or at least quality management of some sort, but I feel like the way they're going about it and the thing that they're focusing on cutting is the wrong stuff. Like, the stuff we need to be cutting is like Agatha. What is that? What was that show even gonna call? I don't even know. Cut that shit. Like, what's the deal with that? What, like, Secret Invasion? Cut that shit. Like, that was pointless. And it's just like they're setting up these fake deep stakes and shit like that. It's like, if you can't do the storyline properly, and especially something of that nature where it's based on infiltration of like characters that we've been building a connection with over fucking 11 years, 10 years or whatever. It's not like the comics, bro. That is not going to work in the way, unless those were your original seeds from the start. That's not going to work. Or unless, like, not even that per se, but you just did not work. That was not a factor, and that just doesn't work. So it's like we don't need that bullshit. What else bullshit they working on? I don't know. I feel like if they're putting in resources into Young Avengers, stop that. Like focus on a different team, a different Heroes for Hire, Midnight Suns. Like focus on that realm. I don't know what else. What else bullshit is coming out? I don't know, brother. But yeah. So another rumor from Daniel Richman. Shang-Chi 2 will reportedly start filming in 2025. The film will feature time travel, and Iron Fist will be involved. Director Destin Daniel Cretton returns as writer and director. Ooh, see, this is again when I was talking about the structure before. Like, why is Captain Marvel like? Why didn't she get another movie? Da da da. Why is Miss Marvel the most like built up character out of the three? Monica Rambeau, Captain Carol Danvers, all the shits. Why is it structured that way? And with this, why is it structured this way? Shang-Chi came out in 2021. I know, pandemic, everything. Shang-Chi came out in 2021, bro. And Shang-Chi def had like some of the best hand-to-hand choreographed action in the MCU. And he's been shelved, not even alluded to, mentioned, cameo, nothing. Abomination came back before this man. He's not been seen in the universe. Like, it's what? This movie's gonna come out in like 2026. So what? 5 years by then? It's like, bro, what are you guys doing? Why was this movie stuck in limbo? This is my question. I don't know if it maybe because it didn't do that well, but I don't know. I feel like it was the pandemic type shit. So I feel like if the support was there, it's just like other contributing factors. And so, is that what the Bengals are though? Is this gonna feature time travels? Because not the Bengals. I guess no, that's Miss Marvel stuff. The rings. Because they were sending a signal out into deep space, which has not been. Anyways, so are they gonna be some ancient Kang technology or something and be able to time travel? I feel like that seems likely. And if we are getting an Iron Fist, will it be Danny Rand or will it be time travel shenanigans? So if we go back into the past, will it be like an older Iron Fist? Not necessarily like older in age, but like a older previous Iron Fist, or if we would go up to the future, see like a futuristic Iron Fist, I feel like that would be lit. And see what that would look like. Is there in 2099 universe? Is there a futuristic Iron Fist? I know I think there might be a Moon Knight. I'm not sure though. So yeah, Shang-Chi's absence from the universe. I wouldn't say it's felt because it's like hasn't had no impact on it in the first place, but it's sorely missing because it's just like out of all this like generic slop that you're putting out. And I wouldn't even. I mean, okay, that was a super strong statement, but anyways, Shang-Chi I feel like was the highlight of that, could be a highlight in that, of that or whatever case. Just yeah, his fights were just, bro. I'm just a sucker for really great hand-to-hand choreographed fights. I really like those a lot, and the MCU. Everyone kind of knows martial arts per se, but then Shang-Chi was like, just took it to the next level. It was way more technical about it. And that's what like I kind of grew up on. My dad used to show me a lot of, I don't know if you guys are hip, but the badly dubbed karate movies and like their lips are out of sync and whatnot and whatever the case. And just, I grew up in stuff like that. And so I love me and I think that's why I really like shonen anime. I love me a great choreographed and not necessarily all shonen, but they're dealing with like ninjas and shit. So for the most part, and not always the case, but you know what I mean. We know what I mean, but it's just like they really have great choreographed fights. And I feel like just wanting like being like liking, seeing ninjas and stuff fight and whatnot and martial artists fight that just bled into me just liking great choreographed action just overall, just a great choreographed like sequence, So yeah, and I feel like Shang-Chi really had some interesting set pieces and whatnot dealing in yeah, you know what I mean. So on to some quick Sony news. How long have we been going for? 38. Jeez, we kind of been blazing. I feel like I've been yapping though. But this might be a shorter episode anyway, so who cares? So some quick Sony news. Nicolas Cage confirms he's in talks to star in the live action Spider-Man Noir series. We've been talking. It's no secret that I love the character, but nothing definitive yet. Yeah, so I read the article. Like he said, there's nothing really, they've just been in talks, very loose talks, nothing definitive. But with him, because I think I said this was like a rumor a couple weeks ago. I don't know. But what's interesting about this though is if he does join on, is this gonna change drastically what the project and the tone of the project is gonna be? I think it's gonna still like be noir stuff, but I'm saying, I don't know if I mentioned this, but it's like, is he gonna be more comedic or is he gonna be more? Is it gonna be like more gritty noir? Because that's what the noir universe is. It's like more gritty, old timey. Like Spider-Man literally, or the Peter Parker in that universe literally carries a fucking pistol, and so it's yeah. He began active, and so is it gonna try to balance those two tones? I'm just trying to think, what would I rather see? Like, would I want to see like a more comedic noir series, and like, how would you even do that though? I'm just trying to really like imagine what that looks like in live action. That's a kind of weird vibe to, because when I think of noir, I don't think of, especially like, I guess live action stuff too as well. I don't think of more comedic type of stuff, and I'm just trying to think if they were to go the more serious route, would that kind of defeat the purpose of having Nick Cage? I don't know. I feel like regardless, he'll still be good in the role, but it's just like, damn, you know. And I guess it doesn't have to be like comedic like the Spider-Verse noir, right? I don't know. I'm pretty open to see either tone, but I don't know. I took a long pause to think what would be better to see Nick Cage as, because I'm just trying to think about what a fucking a comedic noir Spider-Man series, live action series looks like. That's a lot of different factors. I'm not gonna lie. That's an interesting thought. And my brain's really not coming up with anything. So I guess it's going to be interesting to see how this develops going forward and see what route they take if Nick Cage is on board. And would it be better if he just, I feel like low ball, it would just be better if they got someone else. And I think because I mentioned before how I wasn't too fussed because it was reports that it wasn't going to be a Peter Parker. It was just going to be a, Spider-Man Noir, just be someone else. I wasn't too fussed about that. I said, and I think I would prefer to be Peter Parker, but yeah, just not probably Nick Cage, because I feel like it's just because I want to see, I think, a more gritty noir series. I feel like an animated solo, more funny noir thing would be work way better with Nick Cage, and just keep this more and go like try to keep it towards the comics and whatnot, in like the Shattered Dimension noir universe, and just go the more gritty route. So damn, I kind of just talked myself out of seeing Nick Cage in that, and I was pretty excited about that. Damn. All right. Anyways, okay, some DC news, which I'm excited to get into, but this specific piece, not too excited. So the Batman 2 has been delayed to October 2nd, 2026. Ugh. Gut shot, bro. That's literally like 2 years, a little less than 2 years. But wait, hold on. No, a little more than 2 years. What the fuck? Jesus. So this is because the writer strikes, the script is not close to being done, and it says the lack of available stages for filming. So that's from the script not being done and the lack of stage. I think it's from the N. Snyder, but I don't know. This was kind of, this makes 100% sense, to be honest. And then this 20 years is 20 years. Jesus, that is a long time. But 2 years is a long time, but not really. And especially, I'm not really tripping, bro. Like, there's going to be other stuff to come out, and, just let them boys cook, to be honest. That's how. Oh, shoot. I didn't even put in the intro Invincible's back, because I want to talk about that. Dang, that's tough, buddy. I'm gonna talk about that after the main topic I'll review the whole season, but just it's back and I'm really liking it, bro. I'm liking the. Oh man, I can't wait to get into that. This that was so unrelated to the Batman news. But yeah, it's definitely tough that this is delayed, but I guess let them boys cook. Not really tripping about that. James Gunn though confirms that Peacemaker season 1 is not canon to the DCU. Season 2 will take place after the events of Superman. So a lot of people are confused about this, and I mean it is kind of confusing. But what my interpretation is he's already said it. Like loose plot threads will be still going forward in the DCU and whatnot, and that's from like the DCU movies, and then so that's automatically assuming Peacemaker. And so the stuff I think they're gonna bring over and drop, or they're gonna drop definitely the butterfly storyline. I forgot how that wrapped up. I think they might be completely done with it, but I don't think it's gonna be really referenced at all. They're gonna drop the meeting the Justice League, of course, and I think they're really just gonna pick up where his team is, as in like they're like as a unit. That didn't make sense at all, but more so like the dad stuff. I feel like that's and I meant so like they're gonna Vigilante's gonna come back, Economist is gonna come back, everyone's gonna come back in that regard. That's what I meant about his team. But where they're gonna but there's his dad plot point. I think him being stuck in his head is they're gonna keep that around, and him being a racist fuck and whatnot. I haven't really been cussing this podcast. Wow. This is something I noticed. Maybe I have, and well, I've been just cussing like a sailor this whole time, and I just said that for no reason. But yeah, I feel like they're gonna bring that over. I really hope they do. There's been this idea been floating around Twitter for a while, but I really hope they do a situation where Peacemaker is the only one that remembers like the stuff that happened in season 1. Like, oh, you guys don't remember the fucking butterflies that were taking over people and meeting the Justice League and shit like that. And they're like, what are you talking about? So I hope it's a funny thing like that, because it would make sense for the character and him being. They just think he's like an insane person anyway. I just feel like it'd be funny. But yeah, that's my interpretation of what will happen with the timeline stuff. It's just gonna be really great when the ball gets finally rolling, and all this confusion is lifted and people could just shut the fuck up, man. Okay, so some juicy piece of DCU news. The Teen Titans, which has become Okay. The Teen Titans is getting a live action movie. There is like a lot of words just to say that. Actually, let me read the quote, bro. The Teen Titans, which began as a teenage sidekicks for their more famous iconic counterparts, are getting their own live action feature. Like that was a lot of words for like I just said. Okay, this is very, very exciting. So a few weeks back, I said that. So James Gunn, like on Threads, which is Instagram, Twitter, someone like gave him a list of movies that were like rumored to be in production or early production, and it was like some solid. It was like a Booster Gold show, a Plastic Man something, and a Teen Titans something, and a Teen Titans movie, and a Sergeant Rock movie. And then he was like, okay, at least one of these is not true, and obviously it was the Sergeant Rock shit. At least going forward, so I'm pretty sure it's the Sergeant Rock shit. But I was like, okay, it'd be cool if we. And then Teen Titans, I was like, okay, if that's being the case. Anyways, this is great. And so the Teen Titans, bro, been around since, forever. But I fuck with the Teen Titans from the 2003 show. That was my jam. I really like the Tokyo movie. There was a tweet going around a while ago where it's like Robin was doing the most extra shit, bro. He was really, because in the Tokyo movie he got like framed for murder or something. But the way he was fighting like the villain, it makes sense why they framed him for murder. That man he was doing too much. He was getting too active. He was taking his job too serious, bro. Batman would actually probably be proud. Yeah. So, but the most interesting thing about this though is what team is this gonna be? What is gonna be on this team? So the OG team, I'm pretty sure was Robin. Hold on. Actually, let me look at that. I think it's Robin, Starfire, Wonder Girl, Kid Flash, and Aqualad. Hold on. OG Teen Titans. Let's see. Maybe that was Google doesn't know what OG means. OG means original Teen Titans. Let's see. Can I just get the original team, brother? Like, why are you making this confusing, bro? bro. I just want to see the original team. Anyways, let's just say those are the members of the original team that I mentioned. um, so with where the universe is, of course, this could be a throwback shit, which I didn't even really think of. This could just because okay, where the universe is gonna be. So right now, it's very very loose, but Batman Brave and the Bold is gonna be about Damian Wayne and Batman. So if Damian Wayne is around, that means Dick Grayson is no longer Robin. He's Nightwing. What Tim might be what Red Robin at this point or whatever his next persona is after Robin, because Damian Wayne is gonna be Robin, and so the Teen Titans. What I'm saying, they're gonna be grown up, like the original members on the team. So is this gonna be like a team of, and is this gonna be like a team of like Damian, like Raven, like how like 'cause I feel like Young Justice did it too. They introduced Beast Boy super like late, and I feel like it still worked. So he was on the Young Justice team, and I was gonna say though, would it work? Because I don't know like the timeline of things with like DC. Like I'm like getting into just not like heavy into comics, and I've been heavy on the Marvel side and not so much on the DC side, and so I don't know if this timeline works. So this might sound like stupid as fuck, but I wish someone was listening enough to correct me. But would it work to have, since like I said, the like Dick Grayson won't be in the Teen Titans. He's a fucking grown man if Damian Wayne is gonna be Robin, you know? And so would it make sense to have a team of Teen Titans, Young Justice, and the Justice League? Like you have Teen Titans be for the actual teenage members, and then like you have Young Justice for like the young adults and whatnot, and like the basically league tryouts, and then you have the league themselves. Would that make sense to have that? Because I feel like that would be really cool. Because I fuck with the Young Justice team, but I feel like they're more like serious, like covert shit, and not specifically covert shit, but like, you know, they're a step up from the Teen Titans per se. In my mind, I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but and is Young Justice like a fucking original shit, like it's not a comic thing? Like, is that just from the cartoon that aired? So I don't know. I'm forcing that too much and just harping on that. Maybe that's not really a thing that comic book readers, like DC readers, even fucking care about. But I feel like that would be cool, because then there's just more to. It's like you're not forcing fucking grown members to like conform to. It's like because like someone like Blue Beetle, if he's introduced to the verse and it's like the same version per se, loosely, he's older, and I'm pretty sure he was fucking. I don't know if he was on Teen Titans, but he was on Young Justice. So it's like that you could put him on the Young Justice team instead of like trying to put him with the younger members on Teen Titans or something like that. I don't know. I feel like you have more. Maybe that's more pieces to juggle, but I feel like that would be a cool dynamic or some shit. What else about the Teen Titans? So would this be? Again, like it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. And like I'm not like fully invested in like these teams and these characters and whatnot, like some other people are. But it's just like when it comes to like movies and stuff, unless the decision is just straight dog shit and just a face palm type deal. Like I'm open to pretty much a lot of changes. Like it's just an adaptation. Like it's not that serious. Like, it's not gonna be 1-to-1. Some stuff is, some stuff not. Like, I don't know, get over it. Like I said, if it's not just absolutely terrible, who cares? But I say that, and there's probably some shit I get mad at, but yeah. Do I have anything else to say about Teen Titans? It's just gonna be really interesting to see what team it's gonna be, and what characters are gonna be, what age and whatnot. And I really hope so. Actually, someone posted on Twitter, and it was like this terrible fan cast. It was like fucking Timothy as Robin and Zendaya as a character, maybe Starfire, and then Jenna Ortega as Raven, I'm assuming. But then they had I'm not sure of his name, but they had the actor who played Five in the Umbrella Academy. And he's a really good actor. I need to see what more stuff he's in, because he's really solid, like I said. And, I feel like it'd kind of be redundant to put him on, I don't know, would he make a good Beast Boy? Maybe. But like, point being, it would kind of be redundant to put him on, another team like that, because, the Umbrella Academy is just like I don't know, is that proper to compare them to Teen Titans. I don't know. It's just like a team. But anyways, but yeah, I would like to see him in the DCU somewhere. He's really talented. What's his name actually? Let's see. Umbrella Academy cast. Aiden Gallagher. Yeah, he's really solid. But yeah, that's it for like the movie, show, gaming, or movies, news type of shit. Terrible transition. On to the gaming news. Okay, so I'm just gonna get into this real quick because I didn't play for myself. My PlayStation 5 still fucking broke. Yes, I will get it fixed eventually. I just got my PS2 controller back. It was on my brother's house, so yeah, I could play some PS2 stuff. Anyways, Battlefront remake is bad. Yeah, apparently this what's good with companies doing bad fucking remakes. You get the GTA fucking trilogy port was terribly made. San Andreas, that was terrible. How do you fumble this? And I guess this is a $35 price tag. Multiplayer there was only like the servers were terrible. Not all the stuff I saw was super laggy and everything. Yeah, it was just a disastrous launch. And I guess they made the file size. So this was from Asper. I talked about them before in some capacity, but I guess the file size originally was like 25 gigs or something around there, and they like ballooned it to 65 gigs, and it's just not. Yeah, so yeah, they had something to do with Embracer Group and Saber and everything. So I'm not really sure about that. I don't really feel like getting into it, but maybe it'll come up again. But yeah, that was, and I was talking about this because a lot of people were really excited about this when this first was a couple weeks back, and myself included. So this kind of sucks. Maybe they'll smooth it out by the time like I get around to it, but maybe not. So this next piece of news, before I get into the main topic, which is my Love's Lies Bleeding. So apparently, there's a Black Panther game being made from EA by Cliffhanger devs, and apparently this person came out, Danny Landlaunders. She was hired by Cliff Gaming to work on the Black Panther. So she was saying that she has like a team of 21 people, and I don't know what this interview was for or something, but she was saying that she is not hiring any white people to be on her team because she wants to create a safe environment for her fellow black coworkers, and because there's a lot of microaggressions that come with working with white people, so it's just easier to work with people who are like yourself. So this is very focused. This is gonna go into a rant, so I'm just trying to like collect my thoughts before I go in too deep. This is not an in too deep reason in this case. Okay, so what she's saying is not totally incorrect, but the way she's going, okay. Actually, okay, let's address what she's saying first. What she's saying is not only totally incorrect. They are, if you're not black, this is gonna be very hard to understand unless you're like another person of color and you can relate. Then this will kind of make sense. But as a black person, you kind of do experience a lot of microaggressions. And if you don't know what that is, that's just like doing sly shit to like be subtly racist in a way. And it could be small things, bro. It could be small things that can be passed off of like, oh, you're just tripping. I'm like, oh, you're like reading too much into that. It's small stuff like that. And I'm trying to think of some examples, but damn, it's kind of hard to do that on the fly. Okay, for instance, let's say like, someone like a black woman had like her natural hair out or something, right? And she had like her curls out, afro, whatever the case, right? And a white coworker came up, oh, your hair is wild today, right? At first, that doesn't really like seem like anything, and it could be not anything. And okay, I gotta finish this point first, so I can move on to the next thing. And that maybe was like a bad example, but it's like little comments like that that could be, oh, this person is just like literally, the person could just be saying, oh, you have wild hair, but there's a a history of black women or black hair in general being stereotyped, or not, that's probably not the right word, of being like criticized and being forced to tone down their natural hairstyles to fit in the um work environment and whatnot. And so again, that could just be a comment of, oh, they didn't know that, or a comment of, if this is a person in power, of, making a sly remark. And it's like a microaggression. It's very, very hard to separate, from a harmless comment from actually someone being like you performing a microaggression. So with that being said though, and that was like a more harmless example, and there's more extreme examples, but they and this is not black people's jobs, but when that stuff arises, that's an opportunity for to educate them. And okay, this is gonna go into a whole thing. Racism. So I actually, a lot of black people, believe it or not, say that black people cannot be racist. And that is true to an extent. Black people can't be systematically racist, which, is probably the more detrimental form of racism. We do not hold a majority of position of powers to be systematically racist. That is correct. But when we are in positions of power, like this person here, we can be racist. Black people can be racist. They could be prejudiced. They could be discriminatory. They could be all those things. And so it is not our job to educate. But if you're in a position of power and you're hiring people, you could probably, there is a plethora, so many amount of white people who will and want to be educated, and there are resources to educate yourselves. But microaggressions, you're not gonna fucking know. Another white person is not gonna be able to, unless they are tapped in with an actual, like, another black person. Another white person is not gonna be able to tell you about certain microaggressions because they don't see them. So as a black person, again, if you're hiring this person, I'm assuming that this person has some type of qualities of character that you like beyond, their understanding, they're easy to work with, And so if they did perform a microaggression, I'm pretty sure they would be open to be corrected, And so it's like, again, it is not black people's job to educate white people on how not to be racist, but it's just certain stuff that they do not realize. And again, going back to the point of, black people being racist, I get it. I get it, and I get it, but I don't agree. Black people are very scorned, and we were not taken care of after the fact of after slavery. So when black people take out these aggressions, which are very valid, they're taking them out on white people who are so disconnected. And I'm not saying everyone, but especially especially the younger white people, the younger generation. Say what you will about those old white, oh Jesus Christ, I'm going to tangent. Say what you will about those old fucks, like, who are so ingrained and deeply rooted in the racism, like there's no changing them. Say what you will, fuck them, like, all the shits, But this younger generation of white people coming up, if we continue to hold these like same kind of prejudice and stuff to them, and of course, it's like you are taught to be racist, but you can unlearn that, and it's not really your fucking decision to grow up that way, but it's your decision after the fact to uphold those ideals and not correct them, So it's just like, that was like a random point, but it's just what am I trying to say? So if we treat these other white people who are so disconnected from that, they're going to feel some type of way. And you're going to get this constant clash and constant friction, bro. Racism won't be like, I don't think it could ever fully go away, but it won't be remedied until black people and other people of colors just stop like being racist as well, and trying to like have this mindset of, oh, they did this so we could do this type of shit, And I'm not even saying, oh, turn the other cheek and yada, yada, yada. The shit with racism, it should have been ironed out way before, bro. Black people, or African Americans specifically, were brought here against our will, and we were left here and made to be slaves. And then after the fact, when we were free, the white government made it every possible way that they could hold us back and keep us from getting generational wealth and getting the proper resources to set ourselves up properly in this country was all denied and heavily, kept away from us for so long. And now you're getting these type of what's it called? Inclusive not movements, opportunities that like are rubbing the current white people. This is a point that I'm still piecing that is it's a long because I think these problems are just really new to deal with, right? And it's just we don't have enough experience with them to really like go about this the proper way. And so it's like you're getting these quote unquote reparations now, trying to make up for the lost time when that shit should have been corrected fucking years ago, bro. The way that we got denied land to like, you get these families with so much fucking acres of land and how we got denied that back then. And like that really, really set people up to, either I'm not even say to be fucking millionaires or billionaires or whatever, but to have land to pass down to their kids to either build off that land or to, sell it like further down the line and get hella money for it or any of that nature. Like we were denied that, bro. So reparations should have been handed out back then, and that would have, caused the problems then, but then we would have been in a different position now. And so it's like if black people got reparations now, which I think they should, but I feel like that would cause more problems than anything, and it would create more of a divide. But it's just like, bro, there's a lot of shit should have been corrected back then. It's just so when you get stuff like this, I feel like to say a statement like, oh, you're only gonna hire black people and not hire white people, there's a little nuance to that because it is a Black Panther game, of course, and just to keep it $150 with you, you can tell when a white person is working on a black like character, like dialogue style thing, and that's not always the case, but most of the time you can tell, right? But that is not a reason to exclude, to purposely exclude. Maybe if and this would rarely be the case if all the black people, hit every mark you wanted and it just happened to be the case and you hired all black people. Okay, that was the case. But it's just like that's hard to believe, but there is I get it, and I get her point, and I don't. I feel like that once black people realizes they can be just as racist as white people in some cases, then that would be, I don't know what that would fix, but that would be, I guess, a self-reflection. But it's just, I get it because we've just been so scorned for so long. And of course, there's like having a victim mindset, but it's just like, well, we're victims, brother. Like, yes, you could say what's going on now, but there's just been a history of not being properly taken care of in this country to be set up in ways that would benefit us in the long run. And it's kind of, again, I think I'm gonna stop talking about this because now I'm treading on ideas that aren't fully formed. But I hope you guys got the gist. It's just this her behavior I don't think isn't okay, but I understand. But there's a way to go about it, and there's a way not to. And I feel like if you are hiring people, then you should. This is just, I guess, a general wrap up. If you're hiring people, then you should be able to see if they have the qualities to be corrected properly and educated and stuff. And again, this isn't black people's role to correct you. There's enough, I feel like, information out there to educate yourselves. But I feel like in this cases, when you're talking about microaggressions, you're talking about these more subtle things that they, other non-people of color could not pick up. Even other people of color, towards black people could pick up on and be or come across discriminatory. Like, you can educate that. And I feel like if you're in a team role, they would be. And if they're not, kick them off the team. But it's just like, I feel like, I don't know. That was a lot of yapping about that. But I hope that made sense for the most part. Before we get into the main news, let's do a quick wrap up. There's a couple pieces of news that I just didn't include. They weren't super big or anything, so I was just like, whatever. I know that. Let's see. Oh, we got the PlayStation 5 Pro expected to release this holiday 2024. Support 8K, 45% faster rendering compared to PS5. AI accelerator tech, 2 to 3 times ray tracing, 3.5 teraflops. The PS5 was 10.2 teraflops. What are teraflops? Is that storage? I don't think so, right? Um, I have been hearing on Twitter, like, why are they just pushing for 8K? No one really realistically has 8K, like the average person. Like, that's just some rich person shit. So it's like, I guess they're saying, stop focusing on 8K. But yeah, that's pretty cool. My fucking yeah. So if my PlayStation, if it's just the HDMI problem, I'm gonna get it fixed. But if it's what's it called? If it's bigger than that, honestly, I might lowball wait until the PS5 Pro. Keep it a stack with you, because it's like, is it really gonna? There's nothing really gonna come out that's gonna. It's gonna suck missing out on Helldivers 2, for sure. Fuck, damn. That kind of just can change. That changed my whole mindset again. Because I was gonna say, yeah, there's not gonna really be anything that I can't catch up on. But like, damn, I'm gonna be so behind on Helldivers if I wait for. Yeah, never mind. That was bad. Yeah, I might not do that. I might get just a new PlayStation 5. But I think, oh yeah, and then another piece, The Bear has been renewed for season 4. It will film back to back with season 3. They're probably doing that because cousin, Richie, he's fucking the Thing now, so he's probably gonna be booked with some Marvel stuff here soon. So they're probably trying to get that season out quick as hell. So there's a new Walking Dead series out, and I guess Rick Grimes got a new fucking. So it's about Michonne and Rick and some spinoff shit. But this man got a whole fucking Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade. So that looked cool as shit. So I might check that out. Yeah, so I'll keep you updated on that if I check that out. There's a couple game previews. There's this new, it's called the Hong Kong Massacre. Drug lab shootout. It kind of reminds me of it's like it's first person. He's like jumping off the balcony and it's going slow-mo, and he's like, he's in a drug lab and he's killing people. But it reminds me of what's it called? Like the slow motion and stuff. It reminds me of Super Hot, and I don't have a fucking PlayStation. Jesus Christ, bro. I was gonna say I might replay that, but I really like that game a lot. But it's like, it looks like every time he moves it speeds up. So it looks like, yeah, really Super Hot. Yeah, and the graphics look pretty decent. Yeah, so that looks like an enjoyable, just not even mindless, but fun shooter. Let's see. I think that's on the only really other piece. Oh, there is a clip of the I'll get it. No, she'll literally drops next week, so whatever. TikTok's getting banned possibly. That's a whole thing. I was gonna include that, bro, but it's just, that is another whole yap session. It's just, bro, that's just a violation of, they just want control, bro. They see that what TikTok is able to do, and the thing that it's able to it's just, there's just so much that goes into that. It goes into the boycotting stuff. It goes into them not being able to properly censor people the way they like. They don't. I'm pretty sure China. It's a China-owned app or whatever, and they don't have control of the who to ban and whatnot. So it's just like, you can't censor who you want to censor when they make a whole big deal about freedom of speech, but or whatever. And it's also like the corporations putting pressure like on the government and whatnot. And these are points I've all seen, but they all make fucking sense. So I'm gonna run with them, I guess. Because the boycotts, and so it's like the corporations run the government. Like, they're the ones that invest the most money, and or whatever the case. And so, yeah, if their money's being affected, and TikTok, it's this. It's funny because they're trying to ban TikTok, and I literally saw a ad on Twitch about TikTok, and it was about American farmers. It was just like, oh, this helps us keep us connected to our community, and it lets us be transparent with our the people in our community and whatnot, and like, this is what goes into like the farms and this and that and the third. And so it's just like, honestly, it seems like a very insecure scramble of like control on like I said, on the US part, to be honest, and it really sucks. But yeah, let's get into this main review. That was kind of depressing. Love Lies Bleeding. So I really enjoyed this. So this stars Kristen Stewart from other things, but Twilight. If you're yeah. This let's see. This is an A24 joint. Directed by Rose Glass. Really good direction. I really love the visuals and stuff in this movie. Distributed by A24. Let's see this cast real quick. It has most notably Ed Harris. So he plays. So let's give a quick synopsis before we go into this cast real quick. So there's they live in this, what town? Doesn't really say what. Maybe it does say what town, but they live in this smallish town. Kristen Stewart, she's like the main character of this pretty much. She plays Lou. She lives in a small town that is run basically by her dad, Lou Sr. Oh, he named him. Oh yeah, so and he's on the criminal tip, and he runs it in that sense that she doesn't really want to have anything to do with him, because of some stuff in the past, and maybe it's left a little mark on her mind, a little traumatic to her, so she doesn't want to have anything to do with her. And this lady Jackie, she comes to town and she kind of just shakes shit up, and it kind of, hey, is she gonna turn on her? Is she gonna go against her dad? And so this stars Kristen Stewart, like I said, as Lou. Katie M. O'Brien, so as Jackie. I really liked her in this. I really haven't what's it called? Let me see what she's in, because I haven't really seen her in anything that I know. Well, she's in The Mandalorian. Well, she's in quite a few things. Hold on. She's in The Mandalorian, Ant-Man Quantumania, Twisters that's coming up, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., How to Get Away with Murder? Huh. Well, who does she play in the Ant-Man movies? Hold on. Who did she play in Ant-Man? Let me see. She actually does look familiar now that I'm seeing it. Oh, she plays. I don't think she is in Ant-Man 1. I don't know why she's listed, because she plays one of the Quantumania or Quantum Realm people. So honestly, that's probably why I don't remember her appearance, because I don't remember any of those people, and that's no fault of her own. Who did she play in Mandalorian though? She actually. Oh wait, hold on. She actually does look familiar from The Mandalorian. Not gonna lie. Let me see. But she was really, really good in this movie. I really liked her. Oh, that's why she looks familiar. Okay, she's kind of on the short staff in the stuff I've seen her in, because this episode really wasn't as good either. Is she the one that turned on the person that? Okay. These episodes, that episode was like all right, but yeah, she's that was not, those performances that I've seen her in were not indicative of her. Is that the right word? I don't know. They were not representative of her acting abilities, because she's really, really good in this. She just has this sincerity, but then like this ferociousness that comes. And this movie, this will be a spoiler-free review until I get to spoilers. But actually, let me pull up my notes so I can get into it, because I really like this. I really liked all the performances. I really surprised that I didn't see him in the trailers of Dave Franco. I didn't know he was in this, and yeah, I guess his brother's on some weird shit. But he was really, I really like him in anything I see him in, to be honest. Neighbors. Let me see his movies, because he's super solid. I feel like he has a lot of range too. Neighbors, 21 Jump Street. Was he in Superbad? He was in a Lego Movie. He has a lot of. I see him more in like comedic stuff, but he has a lot of range. He's in Now You See. Oh, he is in Now You See Me. Interesting. He's in. Oh, he is in Day Shift. Huh. I look. You want to rewatch that movie, because I remember enjoying it, but I don't remember it a whole lot. But yeah, he needs to be in more things. Definitely. I think this is the most recent thing he's been in. Oh, I guess Day Shift. Let me shut the fuck up. I guess I just need to tap into more what he's doing. I might check out Now You See Me 3. I like the first one. I felt the second one was a little out there, I think, but I enjoyed him for the most part. And I wasn't really, Now You See Me 3 wasn't on my mind, but since he's in it, and I really like him a lot, and I've seen him in this, and I enjoyed him in this a lot, I think I'll check it out, to be honest. Okay, so what I really like about this movie though, is there's a kind of a sense of What's the opposite of realism? Not exactly fantasy, but there's like a element in this movie that's not really grounded in realism, and it like kind of peaks out, and I really like that. By the end, I think it does take it a little bit too far, but then I'll get into it in spoilers. But then like realizing what it like meant and stuff, it kind of like brought it back for me because I was like, okay, this is a little out there, but it kind of brought it back. But I love like the plays of how it plays with the mind and whatnot. But like I said, I really like the director of this movie. The thing, I think her name is Rose Glass. Let me see what she has done, because there was some really I guess this isn't all her, because I was gonna say this movie has really good cinematography. Saint Maud, Room 55, The Silken Strand, Stormhouse, Moss, Bathheim, and Pop. So she doesn't have a lot of things, but I feel like this is definitely a good movie under her belt. Not that I know anything, but all around though, great performances from everyone. I feel like everyone's a super convincing. There was a little towards the end, Kristen Stewart's her line of it could have been the writing, but like when she was like in duress and stress and shouting and whatnot, I feel like a couple of her lines didn't really come across super convincing. Again, could have been the dialogue, but again, for the most part though, her performance was really great. I feel like she plays this really everyone in this is very flawed, and which I really enjoyed. Like everyone has I feel like the only person in this movie that wasn't flawed was like the person getting abused type shit. So it's just like everyone was really good at, because you saw the light. I guess that's what I really liked about it. It's like you saw the light in people, but then in some of them, but they were really good at balancing that darkness. Like you could see their flaws really, really well, but you was like, damn, you could be a good person under all that fucking baggage. Let me see. I'll get into some more like in the performances, more in spoilers when I could more specific. What specific moments? There was some. I don't know if it was more than once, but there's this shot. It was really good at perspective trick. I really liked it a lot. It was like a character. Again, not spoiling, but it was a character like standing over someone and in a room, and they were kind of like filling the room with their body, if that makes sense. Like they were taking up the whole room, and it was just made them look a lot bigger than they were. And it was really the way that like the character thinks and how they see themselves was really. It really made sense in what, like, you know, why that was like, why it looked like visually, and it really worked well. I really like that moment a lot. Again, I'll get to that more in spoilers. There was, I don't know if it was CGI or prosthetics, but there was some genuinely good prosthetics or some genuinely good CGI. I honestly couldn't tell. Which, if it was CGI, that's great, and if it was prosthetics, that's great too. But it was just like there's a moment where a character's jaw is hanging off their fucking face, and it's like the wiggling around, the sound design of it, it was gnarly. Not gonna lie. Let me see. Ed Harris though, he was really good in this. He played like you could see his love, but you can see again, like I was saying, really good at this movie's really good at balancing the light and dark in people. You could really see you could see the scumbaggery comes out full-fledged, but you could see in the moments that he cared and whatnot. Kinda. Let me see. I really like the sudden like burst of action. Like it would be like quiet, or like it'd be like a more quiet moment, not completely dead silence sometimes, but there'd just be like a quick, like, you know, flash of burst of sound or action and whatnot. Because this movie has quite a bit of flashbacks, I would say, but the way that they're handled, so the flashbacks are like shot in this red lighting, and just the way that they're revealed and like when they come are just very well done. Again, I'll get to that in spoilers, but they're just very well done, and I like that a lot. And again, like I was saying, they're in the red lighting. It's a very like distinct visual, and it's like when sometimes a burst of that will come just really quickly, like a flash and a quick flash of a face or action or whatever the case, and it's really effective when it's used. Jeez, am I becoming a real reviewer? This is a great review. Because I actually took a lot of notes with this because I really enjoyed it. I feel like I need to start doing that more in general. I'd be thinking like, damn, oh, I could retain, and I do retain stuff for the most part, but get in depth and stuff. I like how multiple. I like how the spiraling madness for some characters were portrayed. Like it's very, very convincing and very well done. I just enjoy when characters spiral into madness. It's like, with anime and stuff, you get that one like close up shot of their face, and like that's how you know a character is about to go fucking ballistic, berserk. And so I really this movie just really portrayed some not specifically in that way like how they do it in anime, but they just portrayed spiraling madness really well. There are some really great surprising moments in this movie that I can't wait to get into in spoilers. I have here man rages and eats bug. So I guess if you haven't seen that movie and this review convinces you, look forward to that. Man raging, eating bug. Lots of good fits of rage, like I said, spiraling madness, but there's a lot of people like just raging out. That was really some gamer rage. That was really funny, or not funny per se, but it was really well done. My last note is, what the fuck am I watching? Okay, yes, like I said, it kind of spirals out into some weird shit, but I feel like it all comes together though for the most part. Is that really all I have to say about this movie in non-spoilers? Let me see. I said the cinematography was great. Cinematography. Oh, I didn't really talk about the action, but when it was there's not a ton of action. But when it's there, it's really well done. Well, that's what I'll say. Actually, the action in this kind of remind me of No Country for Old Men. Is that what it's called with Javier Bardem? I really like that movie. This movie came out in 2007. Jeez. I watched this movie probably like a couple years ago. Yeah, I really like that movie a lot. But the action does remind me of that. I'm not going to lie. I got to rewatch the movie to say what specific parts. But I got that vibe from it. I'm not going to lie. Let me see. Is there anything else? Director was really good. Performance was really great. Was there any people that did really good that I forgot to highlight? Like everyone did good. Honestly, everyone. Katie O'Brien as Jackie, Kristen Stewart as Lou, Jenna Malone as Beth, Anna Barry Shinnikov as Daisy, Ed Harris as Lou Sr., Dave Franco as characters unnamed. Not in the movie, but in this, I forgot his name. I think that might be all for non-spoilers. So yeah, let's get into some spoilers. Oh, actually, sorry. Gotta get my rating. So I really, really enjoyed this movie, right? And the stuff that like that I said like blew up in like to more like not grounded to realism. I was at a 9 before that, and I took it to an 8.5, and then I was like, I was like the very, very ending, and as I like kind of brought it together, and I realized what they were trying to portray, went back to up to a 9. But I was kind of thinking, I was like, what stops this from being a 10? I think, like I said, some of Kristen Stewart's line deliveries and like in duress weren't all the way convincing. Could be the script, but she was great in this movie. I can't stress that enough. It's just some lines here and there. So I feel like stuff like that maybe would keep that from a 10. And maybe I would have liked to. Maybe I would like to see how the dad had more of his claws into the town and his control in the town. They definitely portrayed that, but maybe I would like to see that more. But anyways, back to my point about stuff being a 10. I feel like stuff that's to be a 10 for me, not just like a 9.5, is I really have to like connect to it emotionally. Like something with Spider-Verse. Like that is it's funny how I rate that a 10, but it's a 2-parter like Dune. I honestly feel like Dune's a 10 to me, no cap. Because I said like as like it's you don't get the Actually, no. Dune might still be like a 9.5, like I said, because I feel like you really don't get like the if you don't watch the first movie, bro, it's not gonna hit as hard as the second movie, or the second movie's not gonna hit as hard. But with like Spider-Verse, that is a 2-parter. I feel like you can still watch that and come away with a large emotional take from that. still without the set, and that's even without the setup of the first movie. I feel like because I guess some relationships aren't there. I don't know what I'm trying to say with this point exactly. Maybe I figure that out more. But anyways, I feel like tens are gonna be reserved for stuff that like really pulls something out of me emotionally. And I didn't really feel that with this movie, even though I really, 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 really enjoyed it. Yeah, so I'm thinking about like a niner with this. Maybe a 8.59. And I feel like the rewatch will dictate which way that sways if I do a rewatch at some point. So I'm at like an 8.59, which is beyond solid, to be honest. Yeah, so let's get on to some spoilers. Yeah, like I said, we want a shorter show today, man. I guess right into the first spoiler thing. Great performances with Ed Harris, like I said. Ed Harris's character, he's in the hospital for his Dave Franco put his daughter, which is Kristen Stewart's sister in the movie, in the hospital, a domestic abuse, and he pieces together that Jackie and Lou, which is Kristen Stewart's character, are dating, and he just has this like, he just looks, and it was just a really good acting moment. Just like there's a really he's a really good acting moment just with his face and just like, I see what's going on here, and he just leaves the room. It's just a really good moment, just highlighting the performances. Let's see. Oh yeah, back to the great cinematography. When Jackie kills Dave Franco's character and fucking smashes his face on the coffee table and knocks his jaw off. Literally, it's hanging by like one piece of shit, so it's like all loose and shit. After she does that, so she's like taking steroids and shit, so she's like, she looks at herself as like growing into this like hulking monster, and that's where the realism like is played with there, because in her eyes, like, she can see her muscles like bulging and growing and shit. And so they play with that perspective, and obviously that's not happening in real time, but that's how she sees herself. And so after she kills Dave Franco, she's just like, feels like this hulking like monster and stuff. And it's like, so she like fills up the room, and like it's just a really good shot. She just like looks super huge in it, and that plays in later where she helps Kristen Stewart with her dad, and she grows into this giant like 20-foot monster lady. And it's like so crazy. It's just like, what the fuck is happening? And I thought that was like actually like happening in real time, or like, the other characters were seeing it based off their reactions to it. And I was like, whoa, is this actually happening? But I guess, and like it ends with her pinning her dad to the ground like as a giant 20-foot monster lady. And then like them running through the clouds in both of them. And so this was the part that gave it away for me. Because I was like, okay, this lady just has some fucking magical properties to her. Like, she could fucking turn into Giant Man. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, she like, her and Kristen Stewart are running like as fucking 100-foot ladies running through the clouds and just like laughing and shit. And that's the part where it clued me into, okay, this is all in her head. And this like, and then it cut to them and like her like strung out and drugged out, like, or coming down from taking all those steroids, and like she's just riding with Kristen Stewart's character. So I was like, okay, that was like in her head. And there's another instance this happens like when she like gets drugged out and like she starts tweaking, and she like headbutt Kristen Stewart's character and like runs off to Vegas, the bodybuilding competition. And she just like, at first, when it first happened, she's like gets out of this, she hitchhikes with these guys, and like he lets her out of the van, and it's like hella bright, and his pupils are super black, like it's like taking up his whole like eye space. I'm like, whoa, am I tripping? And then like later in the competition, it's some weird shit. Like she imagines herself like throwing, like, it's just like this weird body deformity thing. Like she imagines herself throwing up Kristen Stewart, and it's just like this really weird sequence. And then like it just basically, it was like that was what it was in her mind, but in reality she just threw up on stage. And like these like ladies were like, she thought they were laughing at her, and laughing at her, but it was all in her head, and they had like these like demon faces, and like she started attacking them. It was a fun play with realism. It kind of got turned up a little times 10 towards the end, but then I feel like, realizing what they were doing, it kind of helped with that. But yeah, I really like that one shot. And to long story short of her and with James Franco, and good prosthetics or good CGI. So when Dave Franco's jaw was broken or whatever, it was just like wiggling around. It was just really good sound design on it. Like every time they moved his body, you just and that was like for all the bodies in this, all the dead bodies in this movie. Like whenever they were moving a dead body, it was like you heard like the squishes of like the blood in the wounds and whatnot. It was just it was interest good sound design. Like I said, I like the intense like flashbacks, like the burst of like red or quick sound, or like when they're in the hospital, when Kristen Stewart and Jackie are in the hospital, because not but her sister got hospitalized by her husband, abusiveness, and Jackie's like in the corner and she's just like raging and like she's like grabbing her chair and like scratching it and shit, and like it was good use of like close-ups and like of her nails scratching it and like her getting mad and her muscles bulging, but just really good use of like quick hard sound design. I don't know if that fucking makes sense, but yeah. um the flashbacks though were really really good, especially like the way they were used and how when Kristen Stewart, she was driving to go take the Dave Franco's body to the spot where they were gonna dump it because her girlfriend killed him, and she didn't want her to get caught, obviously, but she was taking the same path that her dad would, or took her to go kill this random, I don't know the situation, but kill this one guy that she did with him. They would he would dump all the bodies that he killed in this canyon, and she was taking Jackie to go dump this body. And it was like, her going there with her dad, and like that, and the same route she took, being like flashback with red and whatnot. It was just really good, really well layered, and like the way it was the way her trauma would come up, and the times it would come up, I feel like it was really really effective. Oh, so with with them killing, with Jackie killing Frank and them dumping the body, and they set his car, they dumped put his body in his trunk, and then dumped the car in the canyon, and then set the car on fire, and a bunch of smoke was coming up, and she was like, Kristen Stewart was like, they're gonna find out about this in the morning, and my dad's gonna have to answer for all those bodies that they find down there and whatnot. And so Lou's friend, or I guess ex-girlfriend, maybe someone she was messing with, kind of saw that Jackie was at Dave Franco's house the night that he died, and she was gonna tell, and then her dad like did some shit and set Jackie up and made her go kill her friend. And when she killed her friend, she was with Lou, Kristen Stewart's character. But the moment it happened, that was a bad explanation on why she killed her friend. But I was just trying to get us to the moment when she killed her friend. It's just like this, and this is what I mean. Like, it's just the action's just so like, or the depths, they're just so sudden, and it just really remind me of No Country for Old Men. Like Lou is, and especially the perspective it was into, it was just really good, because Lou is the shot is, the camera is in the apartment, right? But it's shot in a way that like you see Lou walking in, and you can still see like the outside, like you see the door open, and stuff, and you see like the sunlight coming in on the door. And Lou's friend was following right behind her, and so you expect, Lou walks in, and then you expect her friend to be following shortly after, but then you just you hear a silenced pistol shot, you see blood just splattered on the door and on Lou, and it's just this was like, whoa, it's just out of nowhere, just like, what the fuck? And you look and see like Jackie's the one that did it because her dad told her to and whatnot, and was manipulating her. And then it's just like, Kristen Stewart's just like, it's a great reaction. It's like, what, like, literally, what the fuck just happened, bro? And yeah, it was just a really great moment. Let's see what else, because I got yeah. Before my last note, what the fuck am I watching? I said Big Woman Saves the Day. So yeah, that was just all in her head apparently. But yeah, I really like this movie, and this, it was a surprise. I really went in with no expectations, and it was a surprisingly good time. It seemed interesting. It seemed like it was up my alley, like vibe wise, and I just be looking for stuff that has really good performances, really good cinematography, action, and whatnot, and you know, variation on those, like if it's more action heavy, you get my point. But it was up my alley, and I enjoyed it. So the next thing though, I will review is and I think it's will be next week. I think Late Night with the Devil with David Dosterman. I've been seeing some it's been getting some really, really good positive reviews. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, that's what we'll be checking out next week. And that's what will be the review. And that is the review for Love Lies Bleeding. But let's just like quickly though, before I get into my weekly watch list, let's talk about some Invincible, brother. We're gonna be going full spoilers here. No sense to be hand holding. Yeah, so I mean, it's like we're season 2, part 2 of the season. Like there's no hand holding here. But yeah, bro, Invincible continues to be fucking fire, bro. I really like. I saw this dumbass point on Twitter, bro. Someone said like Invincible has gore for no reason. They're kind of like trying to compare it to The Boys or something. And I'm like, bro, that is far from the truth, bro. When Invincible, and of course, there's probably instances where gore is probably just loosely used, but for the most part, bro, it is used to convey that shit is fucking dire. Shit is going down, bro. There are consequences to these actions, and so, bro, the new episode just came out swinging from tension to tension with Cecil and Mark and his mom and his like the brother and his new brother, and just the music during that moment, bro, was so good, bro. It was just it's so funny. It's so funny that, and this is no kick on the movie I just viewed. It's just the stuff that was happening in that movie, and the crazy shit that was happening, and then compared to Cecil and just talking with Mark at his door, just has so much more tension for me than some of the stuff that was happening in that movie, bro. It's just so crazy. And bro, when I just love how the emotion in it, and just how Mark is talking about talking to his mom, how his mom has these like moments of lashing out, because she is in a position where she should feel some type of way. And, she corrects herself, of course, but she deserves those moments of lashing out. I really like that a lot. It just feels like really genuine storytelling and genuine emotion. And then Invincible does this really cool thing though, and sometimes it doesn't work as much as it doesn't work all the way. It doesn't. I would say it doesn't never not work, but it just doesn't work as what's it called, as good as it could be. But anyways, it's good at balancing different stuff happening all at once. Like there will be 3 different storyline fights going on, and each of them, and when it's done right, will all be intriguing. You're invested in every situation. So when it cuts to something, when it cuts away to something, it cuts to something, I'm still locked in. But when it doesn't work all the way, I don't think the something would be a lot more interesting. And it'll cut to something that is still interesting, but it's just not as fucking interesting of what's going on over here. So it's like, I want to be over here. But when other stuff does it poorly, it's been like, it will take away from it drastically. Like, I don't want to be here at all. I just want to be seeing what's going on over here. Stop fucking wasting our time with this fucking bullshit, like, arc or whatever, this side plot going on. But all the side shit happening in Invincible, like, compared to the main storyline, is still very interesting. And that, like, brings me to the Guardians of the Globe. What's left of the team that, from, of them being split up, what's left of them going against, what is it, the Serpent Society's Marvel Snake Society? I don't know. It's some snake themed villains, and they were looked at as pushovers, and they came and they fucking killed everyone except Rex. Like, that was, oh my gosh, bro. And it was so brutal, and it made sense for the brutality, bro. And it really upped the stakes at, like, bro, shit is not sweet in the Invincible universe at all. We will kill the people that, and it's just like they kill people that we've built a somewhat of connection to. I'm not gonna say I'm fully invested into all the members of the Guardians of the Globe, but like Duplicate, she's been around since early season 1. Like, bro, whoa, and she just got fucking killed like that, fucking brutally. And the most brutal death that I literally had me like squinching, bro, was when fucking the shrinking lady went into the guy's mouth and tried to and went to, or no, he ate her, and she tried to grow big and bust out, and I thought it was gonna work, bro. I thought it was gonna work, and it looked like it's working. Like, he's over here bulging at like the neck, and like his body's bulging and whatnot, and you think he's about to rip up and explode, but then you hear her fucking bones cracking, her squelching, and her like, and like just see him like compress her and just crush her fucking body, bro. And he's just like, yum. And then Rex, bro, he's just on his own, just, bro, he gets his, he cuts a lady in half, bro, just on some, he's literally just trying to survive. He's on some Halo mission survive at this point, bro. And he like gets his hand bitten off, and then, oh my, bro, Invincible is that show, bro, for sure. And the break is unfortunate, bro, but I like I said, bro, it's unfortunate, but I'm back on board 100%. Like, man, I'm Invincible, bro. I love you, Invincible. If I could kiss you in the mouth, I would. That's it for Invincible. But like I said, though, I'll I won't do a weekly thing. Maybe I would mention it briefly in weekly watch lists, that like I enjoyed the episode or something, but it's not gonna be like this, like spoilers and stuff. But this was just it returning, and I really, really liked the episode a lot. And I know I didn't touch on everything, but those were I just really love how this story is developing, the stuff with Rex and the stuff with, Amber, and how he went to her and everything. They're just dynamic, and it just felt so organic. Like, you could just their interaction, like that was just an example. Oh, and the stuff with Donald and stuff. Oh, like it's also so good, bro. Jesus, Invincible, what are you doing to me? That was kind of zest. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna come back week to week. But when this all wraps up, I'll give my whole thoughts on the whole season. And since it's been broken up like this, and I probably would have did this anyway, I'm gonna rewatch this season from start to finish, just all the way through. So, get the full gist of it and whatnot. So it's like we're on this crazy shit, and we haven't gotten to like Levi Armstrong or whatever his name is, and people saying he'd be turning up and whatnot. So I'm super, super excited. But yeah, let's slide to this weekly watch list though. I mentioned what's it called last week that I was going to a concert, so I had to like squeeze in. Oh, so that's why I didn't review Knox Goes Away. So apparently it came out in selected theaters in my area, and it was like kind of far. And if it was the only movie that was like I was gonna review this week, I would definitely probably make the drive to go see it. But it's like I was gonna review something else too, so I was just like, I'll just go see that, and I'll just catch Knox Goes Away on streaming. So you'll probably hear about that on the weekly watch list. But yeah, I was saying I went to a concert on Thursday. It was the V's concert. If you don't know him, he's a Detroit rapper. So I really fuck with V's because I literally seen, not like I was there like fucking real time, like I was tapped in, but his older music, you can clearly see him like getting better from his older music to his music now. And you can say that with multiple artists, but it was cool to see his journey, because he also, like last year, he dropped my favorite album of the year, Ganger, which was super, super solid. And then he came out with a deluxe after, which was solid as well. Added to the project, the songs he added really helped the project. Not helped, but they were good contributions to the album. But yeah, so I went to his concert on Thursday, and he's actually a really good performer. He's super engaging, because a lot of rappers, bro, aren't good performers. Like, they just come and just be hella static on stage and don't really move around, don't be like interacting with the crowd and stuff. And I feel like being an artist and being a performer are two different things, and you want to be good at both, because that's what I hear, that artists make most of their money off of shows and stuff. And so if you're not a good performer, people aren't gonna want to come out. But yeah, he was like super engaging with the crowd. I feel like he was like super funny as well, and which is weird to say. But he was my cracking jokes and shit. But yeah, the only thing is I wish he performed longer, but it's probably, the tickets were only $35, bro. So, he probably wasn't getting a crazy bag off that. So if he was probably getting a crazy bag, he probably would have, really rocked out, But it was a super solid concert. And I don't go to a lot of concerts. That was like probably my fourth. I've been to Polo G, It was a Young Thug Polo G. He was like one of my favorite artists at the time. It was a Polo G. It was a Young Thug concert, ex Machine Gun Kelly, but I was only there for Polo G. He was opening for them, and I stayed for a bit of the Young Thug part and the Machine Gun Kelly shit. Then I left. So that's one, and then I went to Babytron. I think he brought out. TRD. I don't think Stan Will was there, which was kind of disappointing. I wish I got to seen all the shitty boys, but went to Babytron, and then I went to Babyface Ray, and that was super solid. He brought out GT and Los. I think Nutty and Los. That was lit. And then V's. Oh, and V's brought out Talibando. That was super lit. I fuck with Talibando tough. So yeah, it was lit. And I wish and the Babytron came out here like a month or two ago. I wish I would have went to that. I didn't go to that because he wasn't that great of a performer. Deadass performed like 5 songs and left, bro. No cap. I wasn't really feeling that. Granted, again, the tickets weren't that expensive either, but yeah, I wasn't really feeling that, so I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time with that. But he did bring Babyface E with him, which he's been an artist I've been fucking with tough lately. So I wish I would have went to that to go see him, but Talibando only did like one verse of a song he had with V's, I think. Oh no, or with Ray? Maybe no, it was with Lucky and stuff, I think. And he only performed that, so that could have been the Babyface E situation. He could just perform one little track since it wasn't necessarily his concert, whatever. But yeah, so that was pretty fun though overall. I talked about Invincible, Blackberry. So I've been watching this. So I wanted to see this movie for a while. This has Glenn Howerton and Jay. And I was talking about this guy earlier. Hold on, Jay Baruchel, because he plays he is in, what's it called? He's in fucking How to Train Your Dragon, which I like a lot. He's in a lot of things. This is the end, Tropic Thunder. He's in one of my personal favorites though. Sorcerer's Apprentice. Is this the guy, right? I don't see it on here though. That's why I'm just a little confused. Oh, it's right here. It's one of the first ones. Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nicolas Cage, bro. I fuck with this movie when I was a kid. So tough. I really like the soundtrack for it a lot. What's it called? But I really like that movie. And I was saying, when I was talking about How to Train Your Dragon remake, because I was like, oh, he's probably too old to play. What's his face? Hiccup. And so I was like, oh, I haven't really seen him in anything. So I guess he was in this and I didn't even know. But I haven't finished it yet. I'm like 45 in. But I'm really liking it a lot. It's so good. Seeing Glenn Howerton just, he's a really fun actor, to be honest. Just these guys are just a bunch of, so if you don't know what this movie is, real quick, this is about the origins of BlackBerry, the phone. And the Jay Bernstein's character, he's just he has the brains, but the people he's working with, they're just a bunch of nerds and a bunch of pushovers, and really don't have the drive and the business drive to really like make it. And so that's where Glenn Howerton's character comes in. He's he's very much an asshole, very much a manipulator, but he knows what the fuck he's doing, and so he's leading them to victory. As for now, I don't know if he ends up fucking them in the end and taking all the rights or whatnot, but it's really enjoyable. Final Destination. I mentioned this before. I've been rewatching the movies with my girl. We're on number 5 now, and so the first 2 movies are definitely have their sauce. I feel like are very really adhere to. Even the third one does it a little too, but they're very connected, and they have like a common theme of like Tony Todd's in there. And he's like a very, it just seems like they're more, how do I say this? They're more like death oriented, and it's more so, and it's not necessarily treated, okay, we're going to make this movie and we're just going to do deaths, cool deaths. And that's it. And that's literally what 4 is, and that's where it like lost its sauce. It's literally just how do we kill these people, and how do we pad out time to kill these people in a interesting fashion. Okay, like there's not really much to go there, and I feel like the first, at least 1 and 2 for sure, and this might bleed into 3. It actually felt like they were trying to tell a story, not just useless deaths. And I think 5 brings it back to that mode, but I gotta see. And so that's what I hope 6 isn't. This new one that's coming out, Final Destination 6, is not just an excuse just to see how many cool deaths we could fit in this movie. I hope it's actually trying to, because in the first like 2 movies, like they're trying to like work out a plan and and I guess the fourth movie does it, but it just doesn't hit, I guess. They're trying to like really cheat death, and like they're trying to figure out ways to do that. And I feel like that's really felt in the first like, two movies and even the third movie. So yeah. And then like I said, I've been reading Nova comics. I really like them so far, and all the characters are popping up, getting fucking Nova and not Nova, Gamora and Rocket Raccoon training Sam Alexander Nova, which is really cool to see. Or not, or just at least from what I think I'm only issue like 3 or whatever, but yeah, so it's been really cool reading some Nova stuff. I've been meaning to get into them for a while, and then the Nova movie stuff was just the perfect excuse to do so. So yeah, I think that's really it. So we can move on to Pondering My Orb. All right, so I've just been thinking about this, bro. This was early in the week, so now I lost my thoughts on this. But basically, what I'm saying, like, you have to reflect. Oh, this is what I was saying, or what I was trying to get into. You have to reflect, bro, on. Oh, Jesus. Let's restart. But yeah. As we got on to Pondering My Orb, this section of the show before we close out is just me reflecting on what I got to work on for the week, and gear myself up to do better type shit, and hopefully in my reflection that helps you reflect, or could pick out a piece of nugget of knowledge or whatever to apply to your own life, or just sets you up for a good week and stuff like that. But I've been thinking about, though, you just got to be realistic with yourself. That's, I think, the point of this week is, are you really doing everything in your power to get to the next level? And what I mean by that is, like, only you will know that answer. Only you, bro. Only you are going to know what you can sacrifice and what shit you should be sacrificing to get you to that next level. And I don't mean, like, shit to, like, burn you out or, fucking make your life a living hell. But, like, are you really taking the steps? Like, for instance, for me, how I know that I'm performing or trying everything that I can do and within my limit, and that's knowing your limit within my limit, is am I putting in the extra like hour or two before I go to bed to edit? Am I waking up early to edit? If I'm not doing those things consistently, then I know I'm not trying my hardest. So it's just like being really reflecting and being realistic about yourself and where and how much effort you're putting in, because that's all it is, bro. It's really effort. And so it takes a different beast, bro, to separate yourself from the herd. No cap. And it sounds exhausting to like constantly be on yourself and make sure you're doing this shit. And it sounds exhausting because it is, bro. It really, you are going to be exhausted, bro. I know where I should be at life, or should be at life, and where I will be, and where I think I should be, bro. And to get there, I know, bro, I am going to have to be a different beast to separate myself from the herd, bro. I gotta be a different animal, bro. I gotta be, bro. I gotta be. That's how I gotta be to get to where I want to go, bro. To live the life I want to live, bro. And there's nothing wrong, bro. We all have different priorities in our life. What I think is important is not going to be important to the next person, What I think, where I imagine my life, envision my life, where I want it to be, is not going to be the same vision that someone else has for their life. That person could, if I want to fucking be taking vacations to fucking Greece, Paris, all these fucking other countries, spend, buku's amount of money to do that and whatnot, and enjoy the life I want to live. Someone else's enjoyment could be spending time with their family, going to work, getting up, providing for their family, getting off work, spend time with their kids, seeing their kids go visit, really family oriented stuff. Like, their vision looks different. And I'm not saying I don't want any of that, but I'm saying, like, the stuff that I need to do to strive for what I want is different than a person needs to strive for their wants. They don't need to fucking put in extra hours after work or whatever to pursue this extra hobby, that's not making the money right now, and to be on that, and then also keep up with their job duties and stuff. Their one job, or maybe two jobs, because the fucking economy's fuck right now, but their one job could be enough for them, they don't have to do all the extra shit. So everyone's priority is different. If when I'm saying like, oh, fucking gotta wake up early, gotta stay up late, if that doesn't fucking apply to you, then let it fly, bro. The thing you strive for. The maybe fucking it's for you waking up early, like instead of waking up early going to sleep late, it's fucking making sure you call your family, you call your fucking grandma, you call your aunties and shit, which is important to should be important to everyone. And even myself, I need to get on that shit too. But it's just different. And so it's just being realistic with yourself and just where you want to be at in life and whatnot. And so that's my shit for Pondering My Orb this week. I feel like it was a pretty solid episode, to be honest. I don't know. I think I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at reviewing. I think maybe I could have explained the plot a little bit better. And the movie I just reviewed. I just forgot its name. But I feel like I'm getting better. I think definitely taking notes helps a lot. I just don't like I just like going into a movie just really fully immersed, and taking notes and stuff just pulls me out of it. So yeah, but I'm gonna try to take more notes and stuff so it can get better at reviews and whatnot. Because I really like reviewing things, and I wish my PlayStation was bro. Reviewing games is a different beast, bro. There's a lot that goes, and same with movies, and more technical you get, but there's a lot, because I feel like the stuff with movies, there's also that in games, and then plus more. Like there's script, like there's like different cinematography, like there's obviously not 1-to-1, but like there's a lot of things that translate, talking, I don't know if that's the right word, but that overlap when you're talking about those two things. And then there's also the gameplay side of it. So reviewing games is a different beast, bro, no cap. But yeah, that's probably, as we're closing to an end, follow me on my socials at DS2Smooth. Follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm most active. And then I recently changed my YouTube Twitter into the podcast Twitter. So if you want to engage over there, I got to still change the @name. So all the links will be down below. But if you want to engage over there, I'll be posting clips on Twitter and whatnot. I've been posting clips on, I got to put my TikTok. I made a TikTok for this podcast. So if you want to go check that out too, posting clips, and I'll be trying to. So the Twitter doesn't really have a lot of followers, but I'll probably just be putting some cold stuff out there, just trying to drum up some engagement and and whatnot, and see. I don't expect anyone to respond, but just to get the ball rolling, so it's not like once I get up like followers coming in, it's like nothing there, but just to get the ball rolling, like maybe, would you kind of what the Weekly Planet does, or what'd you think about Love's Like Bleeding, if you went to go see it this week, stuff like that. Maybe some suggestions on the topic, maybe throw up a poll or something on the main topic, because I have a bunch of main topics in my phone first when there's nothing to review, if I just couldn't go see anything that week. So maybe put up some options and stuff like that. So yeah, all the links will be below. Yeah, like I said, I'm most active on Twitter. Oh, check out my main YouTube channel at DS2Smooth. Really, really working up some stuff there. Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. I know it's kind of inconsistent in like the posting, but I'm honestly trying, bro. I'm really, really trying. It's a lot to juggle when you're not making money. It's when it's just a hobby. When all this stuff is just a hobby right now, like you can't prioritize it. Like I gotta do other real life stuff, and so been really trying to be as consistent as possible, because it is important to me. Like bro, I know I got something, so it's just like putting in the time, bro. And like I said, it's just really, that's where pondering my orb comes from, bro. And just reflecting, trying to be disciplined and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's it for next week. Oh yeah, like I said, will be Late Night. Let me make sure that comes out next week though. Late Night with the Devil. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, March 22nd. So yeah, that's next week. So yeah, we'll be tapping it. This is a 2023 movie. Maybe I released. Oh, it's only an hour. It's an hour 26, so it's less than an hour and a half. Okay, so this would be, yeah. I'm actually really looking forward to this. Like horror movies don't need to be hella long or nothing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this a lot. But yeah, that's it for this episode. I'll catch you guys next week. Twos.